There is a reason your soul feels his name echoing in silence. No, you're not imagining it. And no, this isn't just longing. The angels are showing me a man who runs, not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels everything too intensely. His heart is not cold. It is overwhelmed. His soul knows you. It recognized you before your eyes ever met. But earthly logic has kept him bound to fears he does not even understand. You arrived like a sacred interruption in his carefully controlled life. You didn't ask to be the trigger, but you were. The angels say, she awakened what he buried. She carries a light he cannot ignore. You were sent. You were the sign. Not a lesson. Not a detour. A divine signal. And no matter how many times he runs, his spirit keeps circling back to you. It wasn't just coincidence. You were placed on his path for a reason that even heaven safeguards. You were meant to disturb the silence he had learned to live with. To shake the walls he built in childhood. To call forth a man he has yet to find the courage to become. Heaven is not finished. And you are not forgotten. For you did not receive a spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you received a spirit of adoption. Romans 8 verse 15. He looks at you, and yet behind his gaze, there is retreat. Not rejection, retreat. What the angels reveal is this: his distance is not about you. It is about him. There are wounds buried beneath his skin, memories stitched into silence. Somewhere in his past, love meant loss. Vulnerability meant punishment. So now, even when he craves closeness, his instinct is to pull away. The angels whisper, he is afraid of what he cannot control, and you, beloved soul, are uncontrollable. You bring a kind of intimacy he never learned how to hold. He wants you. But he doesn't know how to be with someone who sees through him. You ask yourself, why does he get close and then disappear? Because your presence demands honesty. And honesty terrifies a heart still held together by the lies it needed to survive. He has never had to stand this bare in front of anyone's soul before. He's still unlearning the notion that love is dangerous. But every time he runs away, part of him hopes you'll still be there when he looks back. Not because he takes you for granted, but because a part of him believes love can still exist even when he's not perfect. The angels say, be still. He's unraveling, not rejecting. And heaven's work is not finished. You were never meant to abandon yourself while waiting for him to find himself. The angels lean in gently and remind you, your light is not meant to be dimmed to match his shadows. You feel deeply, love fiercely, and give endlessly, and sometimes you forget that you too deserve to be held. Not just observed. Not just longed for from a distance. He may be at war within himself, but that battle is not yours to bleed for. You were sent to awaken, not to rescue. To remind him of who he could become, not to carry him there. While he hesitates, you must move forward. Nurture your spirit. Speak to the parts of you that go silent when you're always reaching. Remember the woman you were before he ignited something sacred in you. She is still here. The angels say, your worth is not a reward for someone else's healing. It is your birthright. Do not lose yourself in someone else's lesson. Let your prayers include your name, too. The path may seem to wrap around his soul, but it must still start from yours. Because the truth is, he won't truly come alive until he sees you choose your own light first. He doesn't avoid you. He avoids what he sees in himself through you. You hold up a mirror, not of judgment, but of truth. And truth, for a man who has hidden so much, can feel like fire. You didn't come into his life to flatter his ego. You came to stir his soul. The angels show me how your presence shakes up the stories he's told himself to get by. That he isn't enough, that love is a transaction, that connection always comes with a cost. You didn't say a word, and still, you revealed everything. The way you love, without needing to possess. The way you see, without needing to fix. The way you feel, without needing to prove. You remind him of who he once was, before life taught him to shrink. But here's the ache. While you reflect his brilliance, you also reflect his pain. And sometimes, seeing someone look at you with love when you don't yet love yourself, that's the most unbearable feeling of all. The angels say, you are not his mirror. You are the window through which heaven shows him who he can become. He may turn away, but he has already seen. And what's been seen cannot be unseen. He is beginning to feel things he thought he had locked away forever. It started quietly, a memory, a scent, a dream that left him breathless and confused. And always, it led back to you. The angels say, his soul is stirring. What was numb is waking. He doesn't know how to name it yet. He might even call it coincidence or confusion. But inside, something ancient has shifted. You were the key. Not because you forced anything, but because you were simply true. You didn't try to make him feel, but he felt. You didn't try to make him change, but he started changing. And now, he cannot move through the world the same way. Old habits no longer satisfy. Old distractions no longer soothe. And old versions of himself feel like lies he can't wear anymore. There's a flicker in him now, fragile but undeniable. A new awareness. A crack in the shell. He may not come running, not yet. But he watches you differently now. With a reverence. A softness. A knowing. This is how awakening begins. Not with lightning, but with longing. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43 verse 19. You feel it, the rhythm of him leaving, then returning, then disappearing again. It's not you. It's the pattern. And it's ancient. The angels say, he is not running away from you. He is running away from what you awaken. There's a dance happening, though it hurts. 2 steps back, 1 step forward. A sacred hesitation. A soul learning how to love without putting up defenses first. He wants to come closer. And he does. But then, it scares him. Because your presence means change. And change, to a man who has lived in survival mode, feels like death. Each return is real. Each distance is real, too. He is trying to love you the only way he knows. Through fear, through retreat, and by testing if you'll stay without making demands. But your heart is not a waiting room. And you were never meant to be the constant in his storm if it means losing your peace. Still, the angels say this clearly. There is movement in the cycle. Each time he returns, he comes back a little more awake. Let go of needing it to be linear. He is spiraling toward you. Slowly. Imperfectly. But certainly. And heaven is in no rush. You didn't preach. You didn't push. You just loved. And that love, quiet, unassuming, unwavering, began healing things inside him that even time had given up on. The angels whisper, your love entered where no voice had ever been heard. It did not ask for permission. It simply healed. Not loudly. Not all at once. But like sunlight through a window he thought would stay shut forever. There were days he couldn't explain why he felt peace when thinking of you. Why his chest relaxed. Why his breath deepened. It was your energy. The softness of your gaze. The patience in your silence. The absence of judgment. You didn't rescue. You reminded. You reminded him of his own worth. His goodness. His capacity to be more than his past. And though he didn't always say it, he felt it. Somewhere between his solitude and your presence, something began to mend. The broken boy inside him recognized the safety he had always longed for. And even if he hasn't yet learned how to love you back fully, he knows now what love feels like. And that knowing, it's changing everything. It's not random. Not the timing. Not the delays. Not even the silence. The angels say, everything is being orchestrated, precisely, divinely, patiently. You may not see the threads yet, but heaven is weaving something holy between your soul and his. You've asked, why now? Why not before? Why like this? But love that is destined doesn't follow clocks. It follows readiness. And sometimes, before a soul can meet another in fullness, it must first meet itself in the ruins. He is not lost. He is in preparation. His detours are not distractions, they are initiations. His doubts, part of the unraveling. The angels reveal, this is not the end. It is the sacred pause before the next beginning. There are forces far beyond your control moving on your behalf. Signs sent. Dreams stirred. Restless nights designed to awaken him from illusion. And while it seems like nothing is happening, everything is. Trust that the hand guiding you is the same hand softening his heart. And when the moment is right, not perfect but right, your paths will merge again. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. There is a place in him, tender trembling, that no one has ever reached. Until you. The angels show me a man who longs to be held, but fears being seen. You touched a part of him that he thought he had hidden well. A place sealed by time, protected by performance. But your presence slipped through. He doesn't know how to show it. Not yet. But he feels it. The shaking hands. The eyes that linger. The silence that carries too much weight. He wants to open, but his body remembers what it meant to love and lose. The angels whisper, his heart is soft clay. Handle it with the patience you offer your own. He's not pushing you away to hurt you. He's pulling back to protect what is still learning how to breathe. He grew up believing that emotions were a sign of weakness, that needing someone meant failure. And now, everything you are challenges that belief. He doesn't know if he can be loved fully. But the way you look at him, not with pity, but with reverence, is slowly changing that. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. You are not here to convince him. You are here to remember who you are. The angels say, let go. Not of him, but of the weight of needing to be chosen. You have already been chosen, by a force greater than this moment. If he returns, let it be not because he was chased, but because he awakened. You are not unfinished because someone else is unsure. You are not unloved because someone else is unready. There is power in surrender. Not in defeat, but in divine alignment. Love is not earned through suffering. It flows where truth is allowed to thrive. And if your truth is that you love him, then love him freely. But love yourself fiercely too. The angels want you to know, whether he comes or not, what you planted in him grows. And what this has grown in you is unshakable. Because love did not make you less. It returned you to more. He may be a chapter. But you are the book heaven is still writing. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Romans 8 verse 28.